A lot of people love roses, but they're very intimidated about growing them. And that's because they have this idea that they have problems with hardiness and insect and diseases, so they kind of avoid putting them in the landscape. And that's too bad, because it is true that some roses really are a little more difficult, a little more tender, but there are a lot of really nice ones. And I want to show you 4 of my favorites right now. These are shrub or landscape roses, and they're tough as nails. This one has been around a long time. It's called Bonica. It's a French rose from the Mediland series, and it grows up about 2 to 3 feet tall, has beautiful clusters of pink flowers that will bloom. They're double pink flowers that bloom on and off all summer, which is really kind of sweet. And speaking of sweet, the fragrance, it has a really nice fragrance, so it's a great cut flower to bring inside too. So that's a really nice one to have, a very hardy rose, hardy to zone 4. Now, if you have a colder area where you really are having a hard time getting some roses to survive, you might want to look at the Explorer series from Canada. And there are a number of them named after famous Canadian explorers like William Baffin and John Cabot. The one we have here is a red one called John Franklin. And this is a shrub rose. It gets pretty big, 4 to 5 feet tall, beautiful crimson colored buds that open to beautiful bright red flowers. This one you could see for many feet away from the road. Just looking back, you'll see how it puts on quite a show. The thing about these roses is they're very hardy, they're disease resistant, but they don't rebloom that consistently. So you will get more blooms later, but not as consistent as some of the more modern hybrids. If you want a rose that's a modern hybrid rose that has flowering much longer, a nice one to grow that's really tough rose too is a shrub rose called Julia Child. This is named after the famous chef, and she loved it because she said it had buttery looking petals to it. And you could see these beautiful cream yellow petals here look like butter. And another nice thing about this, of course, is it has a great fragrance. It smells like licorice. It's really kind of cool. So this is a pretty tough Floribunda roses. Usually Floribunda roses are not that tough, but this one's a pretty good one. Comes back consistently year after year. If you have it in a zone 4 or 5 area, you might want to protect it a little bit in the winter. But what's really nice about it is that it continues to flower right through the season. So you keep deadheading it and it just keeps flowering and flowering. Great one to cut and bring indoors. Now, if you want a modern landscape rose, you can try any of the different kinds that are out there. There are the flowering carpet roses, there's the oh-so-easy roses, the drift roses, the carefree roses. The one right here is called amber rose. And this is a nice one because it has these clusters of flowers on it. These get kind of big. They kind of sprawl, maybe 3 to 4 feet wide. So they're great ones to have en masse in an area where things aren't growing very well, or even on a bank, they'd be really nice. They are a hybrid, so they will flower consistently throughout the season with these different colors, whether it be red or like this amber rose, beautiful petals on it and beautiful buds that open up. So you can see these 4 different roses give you lots of nice options in the landscape for something that might be cut indoors or used just as a landscape shrub. So don't give up on roses. There's some good ones out there.